Hello, and today we're going to talk about parries. Parries are a fairly annoying mechanic to deal with for a lot of new players. It kind of changes how they can play their game since it interacts with their moves. Maybe you want to like try a jab, but suddenly Leroy's parrying you, right? So I brought the Master of Drip, King of Parries, Leroy over here. I've been playing a lot this past week, so I've been really enjoying him and using his parries. And also one of the most unique parries in the game, which is Ravens. So we're going to look at them to kind of understand them. Other parries will have similar properties, so let's just kind of cover the basics. So parries are moves that basically are used to usually turn the tides. When the opponent is attacking, you can turn their attack against them. Now, different parries offer different kinds of rewards. There are different kinds of parries. So there's universal parries that are kind of similar to what you have in your move list, right? If you go to the bottom of all techniques, you'll see kind of here, low parry, right, is performed by doing down forward like this, timed with an opponent's attack. So let me actually go here and record this. So if I tell the opponent, right, he does this to slow. Now this slow is only -11, so usually you'd only get this punish, which is, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. If you do end up parrying, then you get this kind of like tornado situation, right? And you can get like a very nice combo off it. Not sure what would be optimal on Leroy, right? Maybe, yeah, something. I just want to demonstrate like how much damage you can get. Right, 40 damage for example, which is not bad. If you get to the wall, you can get even more. Some characters get more, some characters get less. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's a universal parry. So there are also other types of parries. Some of them are considered punch parries, some called kick parries, right? These are dedicated parries. They usually work against specific types of moves. Moves that generally cannot be parried are elbows, right? So elbows are generally not parryable, headbutts and shoulders. So usually these will be the moves that you cannot parry. Usually. So there's a few parries that do work. Mostly Leroy's and Ravens are the unique parries that do work against them. Normally parries do not work against elbows, knees, headbutts, shoulders, whatever. And also not against weapons. Other moves that generally are not parryable are Rage Art and Heat Smashes, but Raven is the exception to that. Let me maybe show that over here. Yeah. So he's gonna do Raven's parry, right? If you hit Raven during his parry, let me try and kind of show that. Yeah, like this. This is what happens. So if you hit Raven during his parry, I'm trying to do it so it's not like a punish. Yeah, he can even parry Heat Smashes. So Raven's parry really is unique in that sense. Not a lot of parries work like that. Leroy's parries are the second strongest, where they parry almost everything. They can even parry weapons. So yeah, he's pretty unique. Other types of parries are stance parries. So some stances like Azucena's and Leroy have automatic parry. So in that case, like let's say he's back on doing the slow again, right? Let me just like be over here. Damn, a lot of range. Yeah, like this. So these parries are automatic and they happen without you pressing anything. Sometimes they give you follow-up, sometimes they just give you plus frames. But yeah, these are kind of like automatic parries. And the last kind of parry, which is usually one of the most used ones, is called a sabaki. And sabaki, you may have heard this term, is an attack that no matter what, it comes out. But if it interacts with a move that it can parry, then it becomes something else. It gains a different property. So this, for example, this move is -9 on block. On hit, it is not too unique, +5 on hit. On counter hit, I don't think it does anything. Yeah, +5. So super normal move. But if you use it, for example, right as the opponent is about to attack. Wait, let me try and show that. Right, you see you get this parry thing. So this parries like a lot of options. I can show like different moves that he could be doing, right? He could be doing like kicks, punches. Right, this is an elbow, for example. right? So you can see a bit struggles to parry it. And what's the last one I think is armor? Yeah, so this, for example, does not work against armor. So different parries work on different options. Armor is technically parryable, okay? It depends on what you use. So here's a different move for Leroy. This will work against armor, and it works against other options as well. So as you can see, Leroy has a lot of parries, has a lot of access. Now let's talk a bit about parry flowcharts, because I know that's something people struggle with online. So usually, if you're -8 or -9, you cannot parry anything because the parry startup will be too slow. So parry start around, I think, frame 4, if I'm not wrong. Either frame 4 or frame 3. I'm pretty sure it's frame 4 for most parries. So what happens is that this, for example, is -6. So after this, if I start like a parry, you can see I can kind of do it. Let's say after this move that is -7, I should be also able to parry with this move, right? So it's on frame 3 it starts, right? I think. Oh no, I should test it with a jab. That's the way we test stuff, I forgot. Right, like this. Okay, yeah. On frame 7, I'm not sure that I can. So it might be on frame 4. I might be correct here. Yeah. So some parries start in different frames, but the idea is that people will use moves that are relatively minus, like -6 or -5, like so, like a down for 1 for Leroy, for example. Then they'll use afterwards their parry to try and catch you kind of like stepping into their parry attack. Okay. So yeah, these are just kind of like parry strategies. They'll use these kind of moves. Sometimes they'll use after like these kind of plus on block, minus on block lows, so they can like keep their momentum, right? Like so. Yeah, generally, if you see people using a lot of these kind of parries, the way to beat them is either blocking them. Usually these parries are punishable. As you can see, this is -11, for example. This is -10, another parry. Or if it's not minus, for example, this one is a high. Or this one, the like known Leroy parry, has a lot of recovery in this game. In Tekken 7 it used to have less. So this, if you just wait a moment and you delay your options, you can launch it. Another way to beat all these parries is of course using lows. There are low parries, or like dedicated low parries. Asuka has one. So you should watch out for them, but yeah. Generally, like worrying about parries is something you have to start doing at some point, especially if you see your opponent is abusing it. So make sure to keep an attention. If somebody does something you think is minus, then he presses and you get hit. Maybe it's a parry. Maybe you should try a different approach to it. That said, I want you to go over your move list. Okay, you will see in your move list like these kind of like notes on the right. And if you're getting like a note on the right that says that this thing is a parry, has parry properties, for example, let me go to my up forward 2. You'll see that like on the right it says has punch parry effect, partially restores remaining heat. That's like something special for Leroy. I want you to find, if you have a parry, a move that has a parry effect, I want you to find it and use it in your gameplay whenever you see it has the right place. If you're a parry user, the way to kind of target people who are using like let's say you do something like this and you see your opponent always press jabs afterwards, you know you have a punch parry, so you'll do something like this, right? Or something like this to hit them. So that's kind of like how you set up a parry. And yeah, with that said, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.